But today, the class of today is called Descanso or resting, because for me and from what we see in nature when winter arrives, darkness arrives, that arrives earlier than 21st of December, especially here in the northern countries. We can see how winter, it starts arriving with this darkness at the end of October, even November. And so we see how nature does something very gracefully, which is lowers its productivity and starts really becoming a much quieter space, and something very different from autumn and from spring, where we can really investigate that emptiness and silence and quietness. And so what does it mean to really do this verb or this act of resting? Okay, so today I want to introduce this motion of nature, and this is something we'll be tapping into through the next 8 weeks. Sorry that I just got I don't know if it's Astrid. No, okay. Es que no sé si está ahí Astrid, but I suppose she is here. And so,
Hoy. Ella sí que está.
¿Estás?
Sí.
Vale. Vale, Astrid, si no te importa, voy a hablar ahora en inglés y luego voy alternando inglés y español.
No hay ningún problema.
Vale, perfecto, muy bien. So, I would like to invite you also to question, what resting is for you. How do you feel, how do you relate to resting right now in this moment, in this winter season where it still are? How important is for you? And those are, of course, like optional questions that you can engage with through the practice or after it. The way I define resting for me is any act that helps me to feel much more at ease within myself. And I think especially in times of darkness, we are always being invited to go within and to find ways to feel much more centered. For me, this centering now feels as relief. So anything it makes me feel in relief, it means that there is a kind of resting happening within me. And also with this relief, I can observe who I am when I'm connecting with life, with others, with my creativity. So what does it mean, this person that knows resting? Okay, and I think I want to really expand the lens of resting, because I think it's more than sleeping or really relaxing in the sofa. For me, resting is a quality of living that can take us to really understand many important things of this season and next season. This is something we're going to be discovering slowly through the next 7 weeks, okay? But today I just want to really introduce this theme, and we're going to do a sequence that is oriented towards a pose that is called child's pose, la postura del niño, that in Sanskrit or in yoga means balasana. Bala is niño or niña, asana is pose, but also in Hindu is called pranam. Pranam means anything that takes you, any bowing, any act of praying to your guru, but when I say the guru is always fine within. So it's an act of really surrendering and really going within, okay? And you see how this pose is a big metaphor of, or a big cue towards what resting means. No, in yoga we say child's pose is a resting pose, and we can see how this form of resting is really about creating a shell and a house, and it's really about moving the chin towards the chest. So already it's telling us like, go within and notice what is that we are always going to be invited to work with. Okay, so I'll let this class to be explorative physically, so we can really start inquiring about, okay, so how do I relate with resting in this season or moment of my life? But also I want to say that poses, like we can say, oh, this is a resting pose, we can feel it's easy. Child's pose can be easy, but actually child's pose is a complex pose. Resting is a complex movement. And today we're going to investigate this complexity, knowing what do we need in the body to really get into this pose. So we can observe our limitations, we can work with them, and we can find the better way to really really get to the essence of yoga, which is less about performance and more about how we feel when we enter into the pose. So can we really connect with the sense of like, I can breathe, I can really find myself. So for me, yoga is more an internal movement than more than an act of constantly creating perfect poses. Okay, so let's go and discover our way to resting. And Astrid, no sé si te leíste el email, pero vamos a necesitar 2 bloques o 1 y una manta. ¿Los tienes? ¿Cómo estás?
Bien, muy cansada.
Yeah, we are all tired. Estamos todas cansadas hoy. So maybe it's a good class to do resting. Vale.
Igual me marco Nuria hoy yo, ¿eh?
Ah, vale, vale. Pues márcate un Nuria, no te preocupes. Vale, pues poner vuestras músicas. Sophie, the link of the playlist is here on the chat. So if you want to take it. Vale, y os voy a poner en silence. Ok, so vamos a empezar de pie. We're gonna start standing. I'm gonna take 2 blocks here for me. Y lo que vamos a hacer primero es empezar a mover el cuerpo para darle movilidad a la columna, ¿vale? La postura del niño necesita una columna accesible, encontrar el espacio para crear esa flexión. Vamos a empezar moviendo el torso para encontrar ese movimiento y más flexibilidad para crear esa forma de la postura del niño, ¿vale? So we're gonna start moving the spine with the torso and the head to really find this mobility on the spine, especially here in the thoracic spine, which is the area of the spine that is harder to move, okay? So you can come into standing, feet separate, hip distance or wider, ¿vale? Empezamos de pie and cross your right arm over your left. Cruza tu brazo derecho encima del izquierdo and hug your shoulders, okay? And the movement, you can watch, so puedes mirar primero. It's gonna be, so really with the arms, we're gonna direct the body to move into circles. So let's say as you inhale, you're gonna take your head to the right and your torso, and you're gonna keep inhaling, rolling back. So sigue rodando hacia atrás. Keep inhaling towards the left, and as you exhale, you're gonna come to center, bend the knees round the back, and just like bowing like that, ¿vale? Cuando llegues hacia adelante, redondeas tu columna y dejas que tu cabeza caiga, barbilla hacia el pecho, y de ahí, ¿vale? Ese acto de entrega y de ir hacia abajo. Y volvemos a subir, so we come up again, and now we keep rolling. So seguimos. Inhale to the right and roll back, extending the spine, opening the chest. Keep inhaling to the left. And as you exhale, bend the knees, round the back, and chin to chest and dropping. Exacto ahí. And now press up. And again, inhaling. Now find your own rhythm. Okay, so keep going back to the side. And center, te dejas caer, let yourself fall. This act of surrendering, este acto de entrega, and continue for a couple of more rounds, very slowly. Just notice how your spine moves and how you move along. And when you arrive to center, folding, using your arms to really feel more stable and supported. And one more, y una vez, bien, al lado, hacia atrás, hacia el otro lado, y te dejas caer por un momento, barbilla hacia el pecho, siente tu columna flexionada, yendo hacia abajo, y de ahí sube hacia arriba, come up, ¿vale? And now this time, lean towards the side, ve hacia el lado, and now you're going to release your right arm out towards the side. So saco tu brazo derecho con el codo doblado. Okay, so look, place your left hand behind your back. So toca tu columna baja con la intención de mantenerla estable. So we want to keep the low back stable, no movement, okay? So we're going to focus into rotate to the side only with the thoracic spine. So vamos a rotar hacia el lado al inhalar solo con la columna torácica, pero no la pelvis. And you return to center, ¿vale? We don't want to do this. It's harder to only do a minimal movement. And now to center. Exacto. Now you can keep your hand free or you can place the hand behind your head. So as you inhale, good, and exhale, forward. 3 more, inhale, abre. Vale, la pelvis un poco más quieta, Astrid, si puedes. Y solo desde el pecho rota. Ahí, bien. Muy bien. Minimal movement sometimes is even more difficult. Inhala, abre. Bien. Y al exhalar, vuelve hacia el centro. Vale. Bend your knees, dobla rodillas y te dejas caer. Fall in. And from here, bring your right hand back, interlace the fingers. Lleva tus manos hacia atrás. Si puedes, entrelaza los dedos de tus manos y si no, lleva manos a tu espalda baja. ¿Vale? Y de ahí te dejas caer suavemente. Let yourself fall softly. Keep your knees bent. So this is not a straight spine. This is more like what is called ragdoll. Esta postura se llama muñeca de trapo, where the spine is loose. Okay? And now let your arms to drop and to hang. So deja que tus brazos cuelguen hacia abajo y mueve tu cabeza de lado a lado. Move your head from side to side. So notice how every act of rounding the spine and folding is an act of really moving with the gravity. So really surrendering. So what does it mean, this resting? And what is that we need to surrender to? Now come to center and start pushing your feet away from the floor and come up. Ve hacia arriba con tu columna redondeada y con este acto de colgar, de estar colgado. So start coming up very slowly. Now the last thing it comes up is your chest. El pecho es la última parte que se estira y luego tu barbilla. Y cuando llegas al centro, inhala, estira los brazos. Inhale, straighten your arms up towards the sky. And as you exhale, we're going to change sides, so cross your left arm over the right. Brazo izquierdo por encima del derecho. Bien. And so we repeat. So moving the spine with the head, hacia la izquierda, inhala. Sigue rodando hacia atrás. Sigue inhalando hacia la derecha y al exhalar bajas. Y te dejas colgar aquí y sigue con este movimiento hacia el lado, hacia atrás, hacia el centro y abajo, rodando la columna y notando el movimiento ahí. And feel supported with your hands. So we don't need to be super exaggerate creating this movement. So haz lo que puedas y buscando esos espacios, quizá esa tensión que a lo mejor sin movimiento no nos damos cuenta de que está presente. And next time you get to the right, stay here, to the left, sorry. Cuando llegues a la izquierda te quedas ahí. Saca el brazo, so take your left arm towards the side and place your right hand behind your back and hold it. La mantienes ahí, bien recta, bien al centro. Inhala, abre tu pecho y tu columna y al exhalar al centro. Vale, las caderas un poco más quietas, Jun, si puedes. Inhala, abre, ahí, y exhala hacia adelante. 3 más, 3 more, inhala, y exhala hacia adelante, poco a poco. Inhala, abrimos y exhalamos hacia adelante. Bien. Y la última vez, inhala. Bien. Exhala hacia adelante. Dobla rodillas, te dejas caer y lleva tus manos hacia atrás. Entrelaza los dedos de tus manos. So interlace your fingers or place your hands on your low back. Fold there. Te doblas con columna redondeada. Muñeca de trapo, ragdoll. Now allow your arms to hang here. Mantén tus brazos ahí, los dejas que caigan hacia adelante, que cuelguen y que todo cuelgue. Una forma que nos recuerda quizá a veces soltar el control, a veces la entrega, ir hacia el descanso, significa eso, ir hacia adentro. Bien, y de ahí vamos a empezar a subir hacia arriba. So come up with a rounded back. Very slowly, poco a poco. La última parte que sube es el pecho y la barbilla. Bien. Lleva tus brazos hacia arriba. Raise your arms up towards the sky. Inhale. And as you exhale, open your arms. Grab your hips. Start folding here through your hip creases, this time with a long spine. Ahora te doblas desde las caderas con columna alargada. Poco a poco, si necesitas, dobla rodillas. So if you need, bend your knees. Notice the difference between a loose back and a straight back. So siente la diferencia entre una columna más curvada y una columna recta. Now, place your hands on your shins, lleva manos a espinillas, and straight your spine halfway. Inhale. Estira tu columna medio camino al inhalar. And as you exhale, hands on the floor, and from here, step your right foot back, and let's go into a low lunge. Pierna derecha hacia atrás y ve hacia el lunge bajo. So, if you have sensitive knee, place a blanket under. Now, from here, push your right heel back. Press your toes on the floor and stretch your right heel back. So, estira el talón derecho hacia atrás para llegar a estirar también la zona de la cadera derecha. So we need this accessibility on the hips for a child's pose. So slowly we're trying to reach there. Allow yourself to be here for a breath. You can even lower the head. Just breathe with all that space that you can encounter in the moment. And now, next, left knee next to the right. Lleva tu rodilla izquierda junto a la derecha. Hands and knees, manos y rodillas. Okay, open your fingers wide. Start moving your hips back, so you don't need to sit on the heels. So that's the movement we need for a child's pose. So reach the hips back towards the heels and notice. And from here, come forward. Okay, so slowly we start sending all these directions towards the body. So what is that we need? So we keep moving the spine here. And as you inhale, start sending your tailbone up and start extending your spine bit by bit. So al inhalar, extiende tu coxis hacia el cielo y empieza poco a poco a arquear tu columna, abriendo bien el pecho y mirando hacia adelante. Al exhalar, empieza a llevar tu coxis hacia abajo y poco a poco empieza a flexionar tu columna. So exhale, flex your spine slowly. Now the last thing it moves is your head and your chin. Okay, and we continue. So follow your spine bit by bit. Inhale from coccyx, low back, mid back, upper back, chest opens, and now look forward. And as I exhale, coccyx in, low back, mid back, upper back, head in, chin to chest. Stay here for a moment. Bow in, remembering this child's pose, this surrendering, esa entrega. Stay with your back rounded and move here your pelvis towards your heels. And now with your back rounded, come forward, ve hacia adelante. and start extending. Extiende, inhale slowly. So really following this speed of winter that is very slow and dedicated. And as you exhale, flex. Al exhalar empieza a flexionar, cabeza hacia dentro, barbilla al pecho, de ahí ve hacia atrás, caderas hacia los talones. Come forward, ve hacia adelante, and from here find your neutral spine. Vuelve a columna neutra. Okay, now you're going to leave your right foot and press your right foot on top of your left. So lleva tu pie derecho por encima del pie izquierdo. So move the top of your left foot down, and from here press your right foot on top of your left foot and smash it a little bit. So con tu pie derecho un poco aprieta ahí el pie izquierdo para acceder a ese empeine. Y puede ser suficiente, so it can be enough, o ve hacia atrás y te sientas. Or you can go back. That can be a little bit painful. It's because normally, most of the time, we don't mobilize the feet in our daily life, so we can feel a lot of like intense sensations. So don't force it. Get into your edge, and come back up. Separate your feet, tie your toes, and straighten your right foot back and lift your right leg up towards the sky. Lleva tu pierna derecha hacia arriba, point your toes, apunta tus pies, ¿vale? Now, as you inhale, open the leg out, inhala, abre la pierna, exhale, bend your right knee forward, dobla la rodilla hacia adelante. Good. Now, press your right leg back and to center. Y al centro. Now, open your right leg out. Abre la pierna hacia afuera otra vez. Inhala. Y al exhalar, la doblas, rodilla hacia adelante. Inhala. La estiras hacia atrás y la llevas hacia el centro. Bien. La última vez. Abre. Inhala, exhala. Dobla la rodilla hacia adelante y de ahí lleva el pie derecho hacia adelante. So, step your right foot forward. Y lleva tus manos por dentro de tu pie derecho. So walk your hands on the inside of your right foot. Here, if we feel like, oh, this is super uncomfortable, use blocks that they are wonderful under your hands. Okay, so release this right arm, and if you can, bend your elbow and place your hand behind your head. Now, si esto no es accesible, mantén tu brazo al aire, ¿vale? Sin presión. Y de ahí, al inhalar, inhale, we're going to open the chest out towards the right chest. And exhale, we're going to crawl in. Al exhalar, vamos a ir hacia adentro y nos dejamos caer. Inhale, open. Inhala, abre. Y rota. Y al exhalar, te dejas caer y apuntando el codo al suelo. The last one, la última, inhale, open, maybe reach your right arm back. If you can, si puedes, estira el brazo hacia atrás. So notice that space we are creating through the chest, also that accessibility through the spine. Release. Lleva la mano derecha hacia el suelo y el pie derecho al centro. Right foot to center. Lift your left knee, levanta tu rodilla izquierda. Inhale, step your left foot forward next to the right. Good. And as you exhale, fall with a long spine. Al exhalar, te doblas con una columna larga. Si necesitas, dobla rodillas. Ragdoll, muñeca de trapo. Allow your arms to be loose. So remembering that resting, that surrendering. And start coming up very slowly. Just try to be dedicated here, so we don't brutally move the spine up to straight and to center. Last thing it comes up is chest and chin. And from here, raise once you are up, arms up towards the sky, brazos hacia arriba. Stay here or come into your tippy toe. So puedes ir hacia los dedos de los pies, talones hacia arriba. Encuentra tu balance, so you can find your balance. 2, and 1. Very good. Now slowly from here, lower your heels. Good. Now inhale, you can look up towards the sky, and as you exhale, start opening your arms very slowly, and we're gonna fall, hands on hips with a long spine all the way towards the legs. There. Now, release the hands on the floor and look forward, and through the next inhale, step your left foot back, and as you exhale, lower your left knee down on the floor for a low lunge. Press your left toes down and stretch your left heel back. So we can notice if you can access to a kind of a stretch through the front of your left thigh. And let's be there for a moment to connect with the movement and breathing for one time. Inhaling and exhale. Good. Now slowly from here, step your right knee next to the left. And we're going to move into hands and knees. So vamos a manos y rodillas. Bien. Hands under the shoulders and knees under the hips. Sit back one more time. Hips towards the heels to notice. And to really send this signal, the hips are back into child's pose. And come up. So volvemos al centro. Good, and let's start or continue, same as we were doing earlier, extending the spine slowly. Al inhalar, extiende, abre pecho hacia adelante y mira hacia adelante. Now exhale, start rounding. Al exhalar, empieza a flexionar poco a poco. Push, push, push. Shoulders towards the ceiling, chin to chest. Now you can stay here, or with that exhalation, you can press your hips towards the heels, keeping this rounded form. Keep your spine rounded, come to center. Now start extending, empieza a extender en el centro, inhala, abriendo pecho hacia el suelo y mirando hacia adelante. Vale, exhala, empieza a flexionar, exhale, flex, push up. High your head in and press back, hips towards the heels. Vale, te sientas ahí hacia atrás. Bien. Ve hacia adelante, come forward. And start extending. Y empieza a extender ahí poco a poco. Inhala. Arquea tu columna y mira hacia adelante. Y al exhalar, flexiona. Exhale, flex. Last thing it hides in is your head, chin to chest, and press back, pelvis towards your heels. And come forward. And neutral spine, inhale, look forward. Good. Okay, so move the top of your feet down and press the left foot on top of your right foot, or the sole of your right foot, and smash it a little bit. So that's a little bit like reflexology, but it's a way also to look for these tender spots to access to the mobility of the foot. And now just go as much as you're able to. You can stay here or sit back. That's quite painful for me, so I don't want to be very brutal. Okay? And come forward. Vamos hacia adelante. Release your feet and tag your toes. Straighten your left leg back, pressing the foot on the floor. Now, as you inhale, lift your left leg up. Levanta tu pierna izquierda hacia arriba, apunta tus dedos. Abre la pierna hacia afuera y al exhalar, dobla la rodilla hacia adelante. Push back, inhale, and back to center. Exhale. 2 more. Inhala, abre. Exhala, dobla hacia adelante. Inhala, patea hacia atrás y exhala al centro. Y la última vez, inhala, abre, exhala, dobla, deja el pie al suelo y lo llevas hacia adelante. So walk your left foot forward, hands on the inside of the left foot. Okay, manos juntas dentro del pie izquierdo. Open your chest out towards the side and maybe you can place the hand behind your head. Inhale. Exhale, crawl in. Al exhalar, vas hacia adentro y hacia abajo. Inhale, open. Al inhalar, abres y rota el torso hacia afuera. Ahí bien. Y al exhalar, flexiona columna y te dejas caer por dentro de la pierna izquierda. The last one, la última vez inhala. Te puedes quedar aquí o puedes estirar el brazo y llevarlo hacia atrás. Ahí bien. Bien. Y al exhalar, deja que la mano caiga al suelo. Exhale, let your hand to come forward on the floor. Left foot between your hands. El pie izquierdo entre tus manos. Levanta tu rodilla derecha. Lift your right knee. Step your right foot forward. Pie derecho hacia adelante. Good. Lengthen your spine halfway. Estira tu columna medio camino. Inhala. Y al exhalar te dejas caer con columna alargada hacia las piernas. Exhale, fall long spine towards the legs. Ragdoll, muñeca de trapo. Hang here with your arms. Let everything to be loose. And slowly start coming up. Y poco a poco empieza a subir sin prisa, notando ese movimiento de la columna que se estira poco a poco, sección por sección. Last thing comes up is chest and chin. And now go with your arms to really maximize this stretch. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Stay here or come into your tippy toes, strengthening these toes towards the floor and hold. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower your heels and lower your arms down. Good. Now returning to this movement, right arm behind the head. Okay, but this time you're just gonna keep your head to center. And now stretch your right arm behind your head as much as you can. If you can, if not, over. And go with your left hand and maximize that stretch. Good. And really push your hips slightly towards the side to really get this. So this area of the body is also the spine. So we also need a space for forward folds, like in child's pose. So pressing the right foot down. Good. Take a breath, inhale. And exhale. Inhale here. And as you exhale, bend your knees as you are dropping down, and with your left hand, so pull your arms towards the side and let yourself to fall all the way towards the legs into ragdoll position. So ve ahí a tu muñeca de trapo. Now through the next inhale, press your hands on your shins, lengthen your spine halfway, estira la columna medio camino. Bien. And as you exhale one more time, right foot back. Exhala, pie derecho hacia atrás. Bend the left knee and stretch the right heel back. Estira el talón derecho bien hacia atrás, so you feel also the stretch of your calf muscles. Good. Bend your right knee slightly. Dobla la rodilla derecha un poco and push your right foot forward. That's going to strengthen your right thigh muscles. So intenta empujar el pie derecho hacia adelante para conseguir más fuerza en el muslo derecho. Okay, you can stay here or slowly come up. Good. There, so connecting with the strength of your legs also and trying to keep this back leg powerful, not just on a stretch, but also into engagement. Now, hands on hips or raise your arms up towards the sky. There. Now, start stretching your right heel more back and maybe straighten your right leg. And see it as an act of really going down towards the floor by keeping your inner strength from your legs to your core to your arms. And take a full breath, slowly inhale. And exhale. Good. Now through the next inhale, bend your right knee all the way until it touches the floor. There. Exhale, hands on each side of the left foot. Step your left knee next to the right. And this time, move your knees slightly behind your hips. So we come into a form that is not anymore hands and knees, but more like a plank shape. okay? But for this, we need to make sure that in this moment, the belly is strong, so we are not just like singing here with the spine. So engage your belly. One more time, this time actually place the top of your feet down. And sit back towards your heels as much as you can. So we keep accessing to the pelvis and send the hips back. Exhale without forcing. And now come forward, return to your plank. And we're going to keep moving the spine as previously. So as you inhale, extend and open the chest forward. And as you exhale, round, slowly push up through your shoulder blades, chin to chest, and move your hips back towards the heels. Notice the length of your arms now. And with this round back, come forward, shoulders over the wrist. And inhale again, extend. So we keep working into this flexion and extension of the spine. And exhale, round, exhala, flexiona. Esconde tu cabeza y ve hacia atrás. Bien. Una vez más. One more time. Inhala. Ve hacia adelante. Empieza a extender. Vale, te quedas aquí. Stay here. Lower your elbows on the floor. Dobla tus codos hacia el suelo, que estén por debajo de tus hombros, that they are under your shoulders. This pose is called puppy's pose. Esta se llama postura del cachorro. So open your legs slightly out. Keep your hips over your knees. And now from here, just open your chest towards the floor. So abre el pecho hacia el suelo. Now, it could be that this is intense enough. Remember, we're trying to access the thoracic spine that is quite inaccessible in general. So work with these observations. Or you can lower the head, forehead towards the floor, and you can even extend your arms forward. Now, this is like a no-no. You can also try to place a block under your forehead so the pose doesn't feel that inaccessible. Yes. Just be there with the breath, observing and breathing into these sensations, but also honoring the complexity of every pose, every movement. Not only in yoga and life, so sometimes we just take it for granted. Oh, this is easy. But let's honor the process and every step along it. I'm going to take a couple of breaths here. So slowly inhaling and exhaling. And one more inhale. And exhale. Okay, slowly, if your head is down, touching the floor, lift it. Okay, and look forward. And just let's return to the hands. So vamos a volver hacia las manos. Place them where your elbows are. So las llevas donde están tus codos y empuja hacia arriba and come up. Okay, now you're going to open your hands slightly out. Abre tus manos hacia afuera y hacia adelante and forward. And from here, stretch your hips back. De ahí, estira tus caderas hacia atrás. Exacto, ahí. Un poquito más incluso. Ahí, vale. Vale, mantén tus manos bien abiertas. So keep your hands slightly out. Now, next inhale, come forward. Ve hacia adelante, inhala. Y al exhalar, dobla los codos y baja. Bend your elbows and come down. Now, place your hands forward and lay your forehead to come on top of your hands. So, lleva tus manos hacia adelante. Mira cómo doblo los codos y deja que tu cabeza baje. So we're going to practice little pulsations, pequeñas pulsaciones. Inhale, leave your feet and your head and your hands. Al inhalar, lleva todo hacia arriba and open your arms back. Y abre tus brazos hacia atrás. And exhale, lower. Y al exhalar, baja todo hacia abajo, cabeza hacia las manos. 3 more times, 3 veces más. Inhale, lift up. and bend your elbows back, and exhale, lower. So with this, we are really working into the strength of the back muscles. Inhala, sube. Y exhala, baja. Inhala, sube. Y exhala, baja. Okay. Now, you're going to place your left hand through the side, so you can see how, I bring my left hand to the side. Now, you're going to roll into your right side body and lift here. So, vas a rodar hacia el lado derecho y levantar este lado también hacia arriba con tus rodillas dobladas, with your knees bent. Open your left leg. So, we already are creating this shape. Esta forma is very similar to child's pose. Okay, so we keep moving the spine. Place your hand behind your head. And as you inhale, open the chest and look towards the ceiling. I'm just like bothering my plant there. And as you exhale, crawl in. So al exhalar, dobla y lleva ese codo hacia abajo. Nota diferentes sensaciones en tu columna en estas dos formas. So we continue. Inhale, open, inhala, abre, mira hacia el techo y al exhalar, ve hacia adentro y hacia abajo. Exhale, round in and down. 2 more. Inhale, open, and exhale, round. And the last one, inhale, open. Straighten your left arm towards the sky. Abre aquí y puedes estirar tu brazo bien hacia el cielo. Te quedas aquí, so you can stay here, or straighten your right leg, o estira tu pierna derecha, and we can leave here the right hip. There. So really bringing a strength into these muscles for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Lower. Vale, dobla. Return your knees together. Good, and gracefully return all the way back towards your belly. Good, and this time you're going to place your hands slightly forward around your breast area and out. So lleva tus manos en la zona de tu pecho y un poquito abiertas. We're going to rise up like a wave. Okay, vamos a subir en modo hola. Okay, so as you inhale, lift your chest. Levanta tu pecho hacia arriba. Exhale, keep lifting. Exhala, sigue subiendo. And now from here, round and press back. Good. So move your hips towards your heels. There. Now inhale, come forward and place the hands under your shoulders. This is low plank. Vamos a la plancha baja. Tie your toes this time. And lift your knees. Lleva los dedos de los pies hacia el suelo. Levanta tus rodillas. Lleva tus caderas hacia atrás. Y vamos hacia la postura del perro que mira hacia abajo. Downward facing dog. Okay, so notice down dog, child's pose. They have in common that pelvis goes back. Arms and forward and pelvis goes back. So now, with knees bent or straight legs, whatever it gives you more ease or rest in your lower back, just choose all these actions. There. Now, you can stay here, te puedes quedar ahí, or you can use your right foot here. So you can press your right foot towards your left heel, and with your right foot, you can stretch here like a hook. You can stretch your left heel back. Puedes ayudar ahí con tu pie derecho, lo enrollas en la pierna izquierda y la empiezas a estirar hacia atrás. ¿Vale? Vale, las sueltas, release it. Now raise your right leg up towards the sky a little bit. Levanta tu pierna derecha hacia arriba. Inhala. La abres, open it up. Now, bend your right knee forward, dobla la rodilla derecha hacia adelante and step it forward. Y la llevas hacia adelante, so we come into this lunge pose. Now, open your right arm up towards the sky and reach it back. Brazo derecho hacia arriba y hacia atrás, inhala. And exhale, return it forward and down towards the floor. Exhala hacia el suelo. Step your left foot forward, pie izquierdo hacia adelante. Inhala, estira columna medio camino. Inhale, stretch your spine forward halfway. And as you exhale, fold towards your legs. Exhala, te estiras con columna y te doblas hacia las piernas. Now, coming to ragdoll. Ve a la muñeca de trapo, round your back, head in. Remembering this access to child's pose, to rest, to find this meaning. And start coming up one more time. Ve hacia arriba en esta postura de la muñeca de trapo. Very slowly. Last thing it comes up is the chest and the chin. Woo. Okay. Raise your arms up towards the sky. Levanta tus brazos hacia arriba. Come into your tippy toes. Ve hacia tus dedos de los pies, talones hacia arriba. O no, como quieras. Okay. Now, next, you're going to lower the left heel down. Bend your right knee. Dobla tu rodilla derecha. Mantén el talón arriba y baja tu pie izquierdo. Okay, puedes bajar tus brazos ahí. Okay, so from here, hold your hips. And now, straighten your right foot out towards the side. Estira tu pierna derecha hacia el lado. Open it, so turn it out. And drag this right foot in and come into, tree pose. Okay, postura del árbol. Here, or maybe a bit higher, so notice again. So, what is the right place to be in tree today? Remember, you can use your hands to support yourself. Okay, so there is no a right way to be. Hands on hips or in front of the heart, or you can raise your arms up towards the sky. Good. And if you want from here, so with your right hand, you can pull your left arm towards the side. Little challenge, but it doesn't mean you need to do this. Good. And so wherever we come to center, return your hands to your hips and hold here. So remembering this tree, its own steadiness, regardless the season. Nice. Okay, and release and bring your right foot down. Okay, and let's create this flow towards the side, so left side, sorry. So open your left arm out, so remembering the hips are to center. Good. And straighten, estira tu brazo izquierda por detrás de la cabeza si puedes. So straighten your left arm. I know this is a challenge because it's really like, whoa. Bring the left arm behind the head, but if not, to the side or over. And with your right hand, grab the left arm and straighten here towards the side. So estira bien hacia el lado. Remember, the spine is also this. So this is what we're trying to access. This is what we also need in child's pose. Press your left foot down. And take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale fully. Now inhale, bend the knees, so dobla las rodillas, and now create half circle with your arms, dibuja medio círculo, and fall all the way towards your legs, te doblas, muñeca de trapo, ragdoll. Hands on shins, lengthen your spine halfway, inhale. And as you exhale, straighten your left foot back, lleva tu pie izquierdo hacia atrás, but this time you're going to keep the left knee up. Stretch your left heel back for a moment, estira el talón izquierdo hacia atrás, and bend your left knee. Y dobla tu rodilla izquierda. Okay? Imagine you're about to run a marathon, so push this left foot forward, so you're going to feel this thigh super active. And this is what we want, so we don't want to lose touch with the back leg. Now you can stay here or come back up. Good. So you can hold here your hips and find your balance. Remember to keep your front foot, the big toe, very rooted. And sit here. So honor this act of grounding and going down and finding the floor and reconnecting with this winter season. So lift your arms up towards the sky. If not, keep your hands on hips. And take a full breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And now you can start maybe straightening your back leg. Inhale. And as you exhale, rebend the knee and slowly find your way down in towards the floor. Sometimes slow is the challenge. Lower your hands down and step your right knee next to the left. And let's come into lower plank. And sit back towards the heels. Just notice how the pelvis moves back. So if you feel the same as how we started this practice, and come forward and move the top of the feet down. And so start arching the spine very slowly. Inhale, open the chest forward. Exhale, start running slowly. Pushing through your upper back, hide your head, and move your pelvis towards the heels. And keep rounding the spine and come forward and start arching as slowly as you inhale. And as you exhale, start rounding, and notice how even is more challenging if we do this section by section without rush. Head heights in and move your pelvis towards your heels. One more time, come forward. Inhale slowly, arch, open the chest and look forward. And exhale, round, head in and press back. Come forward. Now inhale, arch. And lower your elbows on the floor. Exhale. Lleva tus codos hacia abajo. So we come into this puppy's pose. Open your knees slightly wide. Abre tus rodillas un poco hacia afuera. And open your chest towards the floor. Abre tu pecho hacia el suelo. Remember, so we don't want to push. Instead, we want to really create this wise connection with the body, finding our edges and working with them. Now, you can stay here or lower your head down and even straightening your arms forward. If your head doesn't lower, use your block or maybe stay into the previous option. Good. And not to really feel this super overwhelming for the low back, so keep your belly engaged as if you are doing a crunch. So mantén tu abdomen bien activo hacia adentro, como si estuvieras haciendo un abdominal para proteger la columna baja. Just breathe as we also finding this access of the upper back. Take one more breath here. Good. Now, and slowly lift the head. Levanta tu cabeza. Lleva tus manos por debajo de tus codos. So, returning to your hands and place them under your shoulders. Good. Now, slowly reopen your hands out. Abre tus manos hacia afuera y las caminas un poco hacia adelante. And walk your hands slightly forward and press your hips back. Y estira tus caderas hacia atrás, estirando bien los brazos. Se nota cómo seguimos buscando ese ritmo de estirar bien hacia atrás y conseguir ese espacio para acceder a esta postura del niño. Now, come forward, inhale, ve hacia adelante, bend your elbows, exhale, lower into the floor. Exhale there slowly, yes. Okay, now this time, raise your arms back, lleva tus brazos hacia atrás Lift your feet, levanta tus pies, your arms and your chest. Levanta todo hacia arriba and hold here for 3 and 2 and 1 inhale and exhale lower. Vale. Vamos hacia el suelo completamente. Now move your arms forward. Lleva tus manos hacia adelante. Bend your elbows, hands on the floor. And now place your right hand through the side. Lleva tu mano derecha hacia el lado. And roll all the way towards the side. Y rueda hacia el lado. And bend your knees together. Y dobla tus rodillas juntas. Y de ahí abre tu pierna derecha. Open your right leg. Okay? So remember to keep this side quite lifted. Now place your right hand behind the head. And as you inhale, open the chest and look up towards the ceiling. And exhale, round and crawl in and move your elbow towards the floor. Inhale, open, chest up. And exhale, crawl, rounding the back, bowing. And the last time, inhale. Now maybe here, straighten your right arm towards the sky. You can stay here, straighten your left leg, and with your right foot, come up and lift your left hip for 3, 2, and 1. Lower, so any choice that we are, so we return with the knees together. And with the right hand, help yourself to come all the way back towards your belly. Okay. Move your hands next to your body side. Lleva las manos hacia los lados, slightly forward and out as we came down. And we're going to lift in this wave shape. So as you inhale, slowly come up. Lift your chest. Keep lifting. And exhale from here round. And press back. Al exhalar, redondea tu columna y esconde tu cabeza hacia adentro. Come forward, ve hacia adelante, and find your way into low plank. Place the hands under the shoulders. Good. Tag your toes. Lift your knees. Hold here for a moment. Find your core. Now, press back. And find your way into downward facing dog. Good. Maybe keep your heels slightly raised so it doesn't feel as forceful to stretch the heels back. You can stay here or you can leave your left foot, hook it around your right leg, and with your left foot you can really stretch your right leg back. So in a way, like support this right leg to stretch back. There. So we get that stretch more through the calf muscles. Now release and straighten your left leg up towards the sky. Inhale, estira tu pierna izquierda hacia arriba. Open it out. And exhale, bend your left knee forward and step the left foot forward between your hands. Exacto. Open your left arm up towards the sky and back. Abre el brazo izquierdo hacia el lado. Exhale, release it forward and step the right foot forward next to the left and fold all the way towards your legs. And now slowly through the next inhale, come up with a ragdoll shape. Sube hacia arriba en tipo muñeca de trapo, que todo pese sin prisa, poco a poco. Y la última cosa que sube hacia arriba es el pecho y la barbilla. Now, arms up towards the sky. Come into your heels up. Hold here for a moment. Lower your arms. Now, lower your right heel down and bend the left knee and keep the left heel up. Yes. And now, straighten the left leg out like a pendulum towards the side. Turn the foot out. Drag it in and find your way into your tree. So remember, it doesn't need to be like all the way up. You can keep it around the shin and calf as I have it, or you can bring it higher. So first find your stability, remembering to keep working into pressing the right foot down fully, thigh towards the foot here and vice versa. Engaging the glutes a little bit, keeping the low belly lift. You can stay here or hands in front of your heart. You can raise your arms up towards the sky. And if you want a little challenge, you can, with your left hand, do a bit of like side bending. But remember what works for you, okay? That a form doesn't need to be super rigid. Come to center. Lower your hands towards your hips. Hold here for a moment, remembering this tree in this winter season, this calmness, this pose and resting. Oops, and release. Yes. Nice. And come forward. Now, you're going to make sure that your blanket is all around. We're going to go into this child's pose all the way. So you want to have your blanket and your blocks ready. Now, straighten your arms up towards the sky. Inhale. So notice how your arms lengthen your spine. So how we gain some access to the body into this practice as we move. Exhale, open your arms and start bending at the hips and fold this time with a long spine. Te doblas con columna alargada. Inhala, estira tu columna hacia adelante. Inhale, stretch your spine halfway. And as you exhale, step your right foot back, left foot back, downward facing dog. Vamos a la postura del perro que mira hacia abajo. Straighten your feet well, or back, better say, your hips back. Breathe. Lower the knees on the floor, rodillas hacia el suelo. And place the top of the feet down. Now walk the hands under the shoulders. Sorry, this is cable. And open your knees out. Abre tus rodillas hacia afuera. Now, and bring your big toes closer towards each other. Y lleva los dedos gordos de tus pies juntos. Now, first part is about sitting back. La primera parte es sentarnos hacia atrás. So it can be, this is super uncomfortable. Then I'll offer you to place a blanket between your heels and buttocks and find the seat. Okay? Now, that's like a no-no. Try to bring your legs a bit more closer towards each other. Okay, and let's stay here into this lower body part first, observing. Good. And now slowly start running your back a little bit. So vas a doblar tu columna. And now start walking your hands forward. So empieza a doblar, caminar tus manos hacia adelante and fold in your elbows first. So te dejas caer en tus codos. Now it could be, okay, I cannot get that far, so you can place a block, for instance, under your forehead. And that could be your child's pose. Or you can straighten your arms forward. O puedes estirar tus brazos hacia adelante. And that can be your other form of child's pose. And if straightening the arms forward, it feels too straining, you can keep your arms more towards the sides as I have. And just remembering to keep your back rounded so there is a sense of ease and willingness to connect here with the ground. And just be there with your breath. We're going to be here for around 2 minutes. So find your breath and notice how this pose connects with your body, or how you find your body into this form, how the pose speaks to you, but also how the theme of today, this resting, speaks to you. So what does it mean to go in? What does it mean to feel in touch with the gravity, to release a bit of control towards this important act of the winter season? Now slowly walk your hands on the outside of your knees with your fingertips pointing forward, very softly here. And now push your hands down and help yourself to come up, head and chest away from the floor. Place the hands on your thighs and here return to this sitting with your long spine. Allow your shoulders to drop down, so a sense of like, letting move down towards the floor. Just take a couple of breaths to really integrate the pose in the after moment, to integrate the experience. And slowly we're gonna come up, so move your hands forward and elevate your hips. And we're gonna go directly into Shavasana, or resting. Okay, so let's do it slowly. So if you're using a blanket, release it. Okay, turn your feet out towards the side and take a seat. And at your own rhythm, come and lay into your back. So support yourself with your blanket if you want, or with your warm clothes. And so allow every part of your body to tenderly find its own resting towards the surface of your mat. Your feet and your legs, your pelvis, your torso, arms, shoulders, hands and fingers. Imagine everything feeling super heavy, but not heavy in a way of bad, but heavy in a way of willingly going to do as nature does. So willingly going to find this resting and this meaning in this season. And that is the most important. So how we get to understand the practice, the embodiment always comes with feelings or moments of feelings or sensations. So that is what is the feeling that arises within you in this moment. As we are slowly softening the muscles, we're letting go of thinking of how to move into these poses. And the experience has a more chance to really be awakened within us. So, how rest unfolds in this moment for you? How could you describe it? Is it as a relief, as calm, peace, understanding? So, what does it mean for you in this moment? Take a very slow and deep breath. Inhale. And exhale out slowly through nose or mouth. Start moving your body very slowly. Awakening from this resting. And you can find your way up to a sitting pose. Let's close this practice with a moment to reflect with the eyes closed, hands on knees, to notice this very precise last moment of this practice, how our experience unfolds. What is the takeaway from this session? Remembering this movement that Winter does so gracefully, the movement we are naturally invited to do also when darkness arrives in some seasons of our own lives. We can place the hands together and take a moment to close the practice by also acknowledging our courage to be here, presence, the time we have invested to connect today with Winter and with each other. Thank you for your time and your presence for this practice. Thank you. Thank you, gracias.